MTC 1.4 Gateway. Studies show that no one is born to be an entrepreneur and that everyone has the potential to become one. Whether someone does or doesn't is a function of environment, life experiences, and personal choices. However, there are personality traits and characteristics commonly associated with entrepreneurs. A. These traits are developed over time and evolve from an individual's social context. For example, people with parents who were self-employed are more likely to become entrepreneurs. After witnessing a father's or mother's independence in the workplace, an individual is more likely to find independence appealing. Similarly, people who personally know an entrepreneur are more than twice as likely to be involved in starting a new firm as those with no entrepreneur acquaintances or role models. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC 1.4 Exercise 1. Scientists today are able to accurately date fossils, the rock-bound remains of organisms from past geologic ages. When fossils are arranged along a timeline, scientists can see gradual changes from simple to more complex life forms. In some cases, evolution through various intermediate forms over millions of years can be detected and compared to the present state of an organism. For example, the earliest known species of horse lived some 60 million years ago and, according to the fossil record, was shorter than 20 inches, 50 centimeters, high at the shoulders. 6.20.50 Successive rock layers yield fossils of increasingly larger horse species, culminating in the horses of today. As size changed, so did other aspects of the horse's anatomy. Teeth became adapted to eating grass, the bones of the lower leg fused, and multiple toes evolved into a single toe surrounded by a hoof. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC 1.4 Exercise 2. Given the range of goals that can influence learning, it is not surprising that different models reflect different types and degrees of goal-based influence. Thagard and Milgram propose a broad distinction between learning which is explicitly goal-driven and that which is goal-relevant. Thagard-Milgram. Goal-relevant processing is not explicitly directed by the goals of the reasoner, but results in outcomes that are nevertheless useful with respect to those goals. Thus, in goal-relevant processing, the desired learning may occur as a side effect of normal task-related processing. For example, a reasoner may have an implicit orientation to maintain an accurate model of the world around it. Goal-driven learning, in contrast, is driven by explicit learning goals of the reasoner. Those goals influence or even determine the content of what is learned. As the reasoner's goals change, so does the learning that results. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC 1.4 Exercise 3. Years ago, at the University of Chicago Medical School, I was fortunate to be selected as favorite professor. Chicago. But no one said anything to me about the award. I sensed something behind their smiles, something they weren't saying. Toward the end of that day, a gorgeous flower arrangement arrived at my office from one of my colleagues, a child psychiatrist. This was one of the biggest honors we professors could receive. We all wanted to be recognized by our students. The day it was announced that I had won, everyone acted nicely toward me, as they usually did. The card read, "Really jealous? Congratulations anyway." From that moment on, I knew I could trust that man. I loved him for being so real, so authentic. I would always feel that I knew where he stood and feel safe around him, because he showed his true self. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC 1.4 Exercise 4. Health is a dynamic and complex state. It is a product of continuous interactions between an individual's genetic makeup, environmental conditions, and personal experiences. For example, an infant's immediate and long-term health is influenced by his or her mother's personal lifestyle practices during pregnancy, her diet, use or avoidance of alcohol, tobacco, and certain medications, routine prenatal care, and exposure to communicable illnesses or toxic stress. Mothers who fail to maintain a healthy lifestyle during pregnancy are more likely to give birth to infants who are born prematurely, have low birth weight, or experience a range of special challenges. These children also face a significantly greater risk of developing chronic health problems and early death. In contrast, a child who is born healthy, raised in a nurturing family, consumes a nutritious diet, lives in a safe environment, and has numerous opportunities for learning and recreation is more likely to enjoy a healthy life. MTC. Good job.